Hey everybody, I'm Super Train Station H. I'm an autistic gamer and writer, and we are going to be playing Revenge of the Gator and Solar Striker, the latter of which I am proud to say I have never played before. I booted it up to the title screen, I've heard the title screen music, I have never actually played it. Now, hold on, let me grab a little water. That cooled up nice and fast in my refrigerator because it was room temperature not even a half hour ago. I'm like, oh, let me put it in the water, let me chill it out. But where's my webcam button? There's my webcam button. Hey, everybody. Oh, I did it again. Doggone, I did it again. I forgot to do the thing where I make the music play on my hold screen. You've always got to forget something when you're dealing with these. I was doing some testing a little while back, and I forgot to turn the music back on because I needed not to have music there. Hey, Kalaka Boy, happy Saturday. So, hold on. If I can't, I can do this. I can do this. Ignore the train in the background as I... Okay, so while I stall and wait for the interface to come up so I can actually add the music to my hold screen, I might as well just explain what's actually going on with today's games. So, Revenge of the Gator, traditional warm-up game. It'd be fun for for Revenge of the Gator and or Pokemon Pinball to kind of be my warm-up games when I'm playing a Game Boy stuff or Game Boy Color stuff in the same way that... Nintendo's Versus Pinball is often the warm-up game whenever I'm playing games on Nintendo Switch, whether they be retro or modern. And what I am playing today, well, first we're playing Revenge of the Gator. The next game we're playing is a game that I first purchased maybe 4 or 5 years ago at this point, Solar Striker. I got the game I was at a pawn shop. I was paying off a loan, and I wasn't in dire straits or anything. I just needed some money. I had some silver. I bought it at a very low price back when it was very cheap. So, hey, I may get a loan against it. If I don't come back for it, I've still made a huge profit. And when I get the money back, I can go ahead and get my silver back. So it worked out fine. But what happened was I saw some Game Boy games, and I saw, Solar Striker. I was like... There's something that looks very distinctly, something very charmingly generic about this game. And it was cartridge only. And I just saw it sitting there in the case, and I was like, you know what? So many retro collectors, they get into those headliner games you hear about all the time. You know, the Mario, those first-party games. Some of the bigger third-party games be like Contra on NES. And I'm like, let's not go with the things that are big franchises today, or that are famous, first-party stuff. Let me get this random game, Solar Striker. It looks charmingly generic, is what I thought, and that's why I got it. And it sat in my shoebox full of Game Boy cartridges for years and years and years. And then, without exaggeration, no more than I'd say about a month ago, I realized I stumbled upon, by accident, the fact that not only was Solar Striker a Nintendo published and Nintendo co-developed game. It was co-developed between Nintendo and a third party. Not only was it developed in part by Nintendo and published by Nintendo, but it was the only side-scrolling, well, not side-scrolling, it's the only scrolling space shooter game Nintendo has ever released that they developed themselves. So I'm like, oh, I did not realize that I was naturally attracted to this very obscure piece of Nintendo history. We are so close. In chat, Clackaboy is asking, am I eager for a Sonic RPG? The last time there was a Sonic RPG, it kind of ended up indirectly destroying the Sonic Archie comic that had been going since like 1993, and kind of led Sega to sort of disown a bunch of classic Sonic characters that were, that were a key part of Sonic's lore and history in North America, which is a huge shame. But so we are okay. Here we go. We're almost there. There we go. We did it. Yay, we did it. We did it. We've got music just in time to no longer really need the music. But hey, at least that's taken care of, because each time, for 2 streams in a row, I forgot to actually go ahead and set this up. So let's get on with the game. And now, am I eager for a Sonic RPG? There was one for the DS, Sonic Chronicles Dark Brotherhood or something like that. And they took the developers of that game. It was made by I forgot who, I forgot who. It was made by some third party that Sega was contracting to do this game. And the developers of that game decided to take some inspiration from some elements of the Sonic the Hedgehog comic. Now, the main writer for the Sonic the Hedgehog comic was very offended by this and demanded credit, and thought that his work was being ripped off. And the idea that, hey, you're doing this comic for Archie, who is contracted under Sega, you know, you're not getting ripped off. They're taking other source material for the franchise you're working for. Well, there are some court cases, and he ended up winning, Ken Penders, and it's very controversial, very fraught with very strong opinions. The one thing I could... Now I'm just waiting for it to... Okay, there we go. Revenge of the Gator. There we go. The one thing I could say about that ridiculous situation with Sonic Chronicles, whatever, is that I think the one thing that could be objectively said... Clackaboy is saying, are they the only viewer? It seems that way for now. But, you know, it's... Hey, having... If you were physically there in my house, I think that's, like, that would be exciting enough. And there are times I've streamed to 0 viewers, and people go back and look at the VOD and say, I would have had no idea you were streaming to 0 viewers, because whether you've got one person or, you know, a few dozen, you go ahead and do the show that you were planning on doing. A lot of people can't get past, and it's kind of funny, and so many people can't even get to their first viewer and give up before they even can consistently get one viewer in here. Now, of course, I always appreciate everyone who's in there, whether they are actively participating in chat or if they're standing guard in the Silent Squad. But yeah, I figured we'll play a couple of rounds of this. Add a couple more scores to my spreadsheet. Now, Alright. So, yeah, so this is definitely an interesting thing to play. Oh, well, that didn't last long, getting in that bonus table. This is definitely interesting to play, considering that the last stream, we were specifically playing Pokemon Pinball, which runs on the same engine as this. It's kind of wild, because this game came out in 1989 on the Game Boy. And yes, I have been studying on the history of games in your world, and I'm getting used to saying 1989 instead of 6589, because my world's on the linear ceramic calendar. Ceramic? What is ceramic? Ceramic. Linear ceramic calendar. Which is a few thousand years ahead of yours, but it's still present day. It's not like I live in the future compared to y'all or anything. But yeah, so this would have came out in like 89, and then Pokemon Pinball came out in 1999, and it's kind of wild. Thinking back at the time, it was literally a lifetime later. But looking back, it's like if a game that came out in 65, and 66, no, not 66, 2024, yeah, 2024. It'd be like if a game that came out in 2014, yeah, that's a while ago, but it doesn't seem like a lifetime ago, because, I mean, we're older and the perception of time flows differently. And plus, this is a monochrome Game Boy game, and Pokemon Pinball was cross-compatible between Game Boy Color and the original Game Boy. So this is I'm kind of shocked. Back in around, like, when I was in college, and I was playing when I got my Game Boy Pocket, I was playing lots of Kirby's Pinball Land. That was a game I enjoyed. I mean, I enjoyed Kirby's Pinball Land when I played it back in the 90s, when I rediscovered it in my college days. It was a lot of fun. But as a being a person who is one of their favorite games is to this day Nintendo's versus Pinball, or the NES version if you have to make do without the enhanced arcade version. But it just so happens that that is one of my favorite games of all time. A good, no-frills, high-score pinball game. And also made by HAL, the same company who did this, interestingly enough. And I really don't mind a high-score, no-frills video pinball game. Even, I mean, I haven't really played the only 3D table, like the only video pinball game that I've played that really seriously tries to simulate a three-dimensional physical table would be that space pinball game that came with Windows XP. Yeah. Meanwhile, this is, you know, a very flat two-dimensional take on pinball, but I enjoy it tremendously. There's no real gimmick or no frills other than to get a high score. Kirby's Pinball Land. Okay. 141590. 141950. We'll enter that in. 141590 to add to my table. Now I do like the fact that it lets you wait to scribble the score down, unlike Nintendo's versus Pinball in the arcade, where you only have a moment to check your high score and write it down or add it to your spreadsheet or whatever. Alright, we'll play two more goes of this, and then we'll move on to Solar Striker. And yes, I do have the manual for the game ready to go. I also have some Nintendo Power coverage of the game ready to go. Yeah, a very minor release, not much in terms of media coverage. And I really did, I couldn't even look online, which Nintendo Powers issues was Solar Striker mentioned in. I had to go through that the rough window of its release and see what Nintendo Power had to say about it, going through one magazine at a time till I found one that mentioned it. Now, okay. Yeah, so this is like I was saying, this is a no-frills, high-score attack pinball game. Kirby's Pinball Land leaned heavily into, well, being a fusion of Kirby and pinball, did a lot like what Sonic Spinball did, where it was sort of a fusion between pinball and Sonic, where they sort of maintain these platform elements, these I guess, yeah, platforming, score, level completion, goal completion elements. And just like with Sonic Spinball, Kirby's Pinball Land, though fun and comfy, I don't feel like it makes for a good high-score pinball game. And then as far as completing concrete tasks, I don't feel like it's very good at all. I really feel like it's so frustrating and such a high luck factor in completing a board and getting a boss. Whereas Pokemon Pinball, with the goal of, well, having two tables to play on, and having the goal of being able to collect all those Pokemon, it feels like a much more manageable, and also evolving your Pokemon. The idea of going from town to town, location to location across the Kanto region to find different new Pokemon to catch. I feel like it gets this, Pokemon Pinball gets this balance between, it's not trying to be more than what it is. I think that's a problem with Kirby's Pinball Land. Sonic Spinball to an extent, though I do like Sonic Spinball, and I feel like Sonic Spinball probably is a little better than Kirby's Pinball Land, just from the standpoint that Sonic Spinball is more of a they're both, Sonic Spinball, Kirby's Pinball Land, both platformers, both featuring characters that are normally associated with platforming games. Hold on. I gotta do a little whistle. Yeah, it's just a little stress relief thing when, it's a high-pitched whistle. You might not have been able to hear that at home if you're all humans. I'm just making a big assumption there. But when it comes to Sonic Spinball and Kirby's Pinball Land, they're both pinball spin-offs of platforming games. Kirby's Pinball is far less, it retains far fewer of its platforming elements than Sonic Spinball did. Now, I have not played Sonic Spinball since 2007, when I was playing it on the Wii Virtual Console, which is the only time I've really played it. Now, I do have the original cartridges now. I also have access to it on my Genesis Mini console. Not the At Games one, the good one they made a few years ago, with the really high quality one, the one that's not filled with like, oh, here's some Genesis games with really bad sound emulation, and like, oh, here's some weird solitaire thing, and oh, here's some little like breakout clone, some random little chintzy games that we have the rights to or something like that that weren't even originally on the Genesis to begin with. So so after this match is over, when we get a game over here, we'll play one more round of this, then we'll move on to Solar Striker. Okay, so let me put in my score. 76740. Okay. Yeah, significantly worse than my first attempt. Alright, one more match, and then we'll move on to Solar Striker. Boing. Yeah, I feel like Sonic Spinball, it retained more of its platforming elements, even though that game was hard as heck. I played that game for hours, I never got past level 1, but I felt less helpless, the fact that there are brief little segments where Sonic, you walk around as him. Now, the art style, the style of the music, they really went in on that Genesis crunchy sound with Sonic Spinball, and something about the atmosphere, the attitude. Sonic, he's got an attitude. Yeah, like the attitude of the game. It had a very dark atmosphere. And the art, the pixel art was it was distinct from what you saw on Sonic Hedgehog 1, 2, and 3, Sonic CD. It was very distinctly American, I'd say that for sure, because it was developed in America, whereas the main platforming games were mostly US endeavor, or mostly Japanese developed projects. And I feel like I really do wish that they had done a Sonic platformer game with the art style and the music style and with the atmosphere of Sonic Spinball. That would have been an interesting game. And frankly, that if that game had come out, it probably, I feel, would have spiritually made up for the fact that we didn't get a Sonic platformer based on Sonic Sat AM, the Saturday morning ABC Sonic series, the sort of darker adventure series, as opposed to the weekday Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon series, which was more slapstick and comedy oriented. Okay. Both with Jaleel White voicing the title character, of course. And yeah, if those who aren't familiar, there was very nearly a Sonic game based on the Saturday morning ABC Sonic cartoon. But when the American team was proposing this to Yuji Naka, for some insane reason, and I don't know why, there were stealth segments as well as fast-paced platforming segments. They decided to show off the stealth segments instead of the fast-paced platforming segments, and Yuji Naka rejected the project. Honestly, I feel like that game coming out would have set the Sonic franchise down such a very different, and I feel ultimately better timeline. But here I am talking about Sega and Sonic while I'm playing Game Boy. Now, for those who aren't familiar, I did grow up with Game Gear was my first system. And then in '95, that's when my dear aunt got me a Game Boy with a bunch of games. This was not one of them. This is a game I only played... hey, I didn't actually play this game until late last year when I was doing the audio testing to start including it in my stream. And I didn't properly start sitting down to play it and learn it and get familiar with it until January of this very year. And when I started streaming this. And it's become a mainstay since then. It's a beloved regular title for me. Excuse me. Yeah, it's been a beloved regular appearance. Yeah, I think this is going to be... I'm gonna make a layout. I need to make a layout that's very specifically... no Sodor readings. Hold on, let me take a look at this. What is Sodor? Okay. Alright, hold on. I'm looking through Human Age's computer real quick. Oh. Okay. So apparently Human Age has a digital copy of the the source material book for the Railway series. All the lore, the backstory, and... Oh, he'd read them in exchange for these XLO tokens. I know the advanced controller talked about these XLO tokens. I really have no idea what they are. I think y'all in chat are accruing these as you watch me. As for me, I don't know what they are. I know he said, the advanced controller said that he'd be getting back in contact with me. But, hey, I have no interest in whatever cryptocurrency this is. So how about I will make a layout so that I can show the PDF on screen. Next stream this coming Wednesday. I will make a layout so as that I can appear on and next to the digital ebook PDF thing of the book, and if anyone requests a Sodor lore reading, they can just have one. I don't care about raising these tokens. I really have no stake in them. So next time around, I'm just going to offer Sodor lore readings as a free request. It might be like maybe one per hour, or maybe one or two per stream. But yeah, I really have no interest in whatever this XLO token thing is. If that AdCon being wants to contact me and explain this nonsense, all I know is that I get to have fun broadcasting to another world, and you all get to enjoy me, which I think, not to be too conceited, is a pretty big bargain. Especially considering that you get free follower emotes just for following me. You don't even have to pay to subscribe to me to enjoy some fun doorworm emotes. Now, of course, I personally do not have a doorworm, but that's not something we're going to talk about right now, and not something I'm sure I'm legally able to talk about right now. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out what levels of intermembrane information exchange I'm allowed to engage with your world. But for now, I know that Solar Striker definitely did come out in Redemption Center 1 universe, as well as in my world, Redemption Center 5. So, once this game is... I scored a couple of 1-ups. I did good. And that slot machine thing is... I believe how I think I won those. So this has the potential to be one of the bigger scoring games I've played in a while. Oh, we used one of our outline blockers there. Yeah, if we can keep this up on the upper screen... Yeah, the higher we go up, I think the more points we're scoring, and whether we're scoring more points or not, the higher up on the table we are, that means there's less chance of us losing a ball. Because here, the only risk in your ball going between the flippers or through the out lanes is just going to the lower table. So the higher we keep the ball, the more we're free to rack up points and not have to worry about, okay, there we go. No, okay. Alright. Woo! Fah! Okay. Boing. Up. And he knocks it over there with his tail, and we're back where we were a moment ago. Now, I think you... Oh, we almost... Yeah, back to the upper table, please. Yes, no, almost. Do I have friends who have doorworms? All my friends have doorworms. All my friends that are Lunarians have doorworms. Not that I have a lot of friends that are Lunarians. I know a couple of humans that have doorworms, but that's their own business. Hey there, Azurest. Happy Saturday. Yep, we're playing a little alligator pinball. And I was gonna do 3 matches of this. We're on our 3rd match. Now, I did win some extra balls in that slot machine thing, so this is probably going to be our best scoring game of the day. I believe it already is. And we're back to launching the ball. So once we make it through this game... I was talking earlier about games that... pinball spin-offs of platforming games. Because you have both Kirby's Pinball Land and Sonic Spinball, both platforming game franchises with pinball spin-offs, and I was saying how Kirby's Pinball Land doesn't do as much to preserve the platforming elements of the game, of the source material game, whereas Sonic Spinball goes a little further in actually preserving those platformer elements, and I feel like it's a better game for it. Sonic Spinball feels more like a Sonic game than Kirby's Pinball Land feels like a pinball game. That's how I'd explain it. Now, hold on. Yeah, so I understand that yeah, look at them go. Look at Tangle go. Yeah, Tangle I'm working on a surprise. I do not have a Doraemon in real life, but I'm thinking I've been working on something cute that I think will be nice for the stream that I'll introduce at some point. It may not be a mainstay feature, but I think it's something that we might be able to have a little fun with. Hey! And I keep forgetting if this is the kind of game where one ball left means this is your last ball, or if one ball left means that if I lose the ball that's on the screen now being played, if I lose that, then I have one more ball in reserve. I keep forgetting which, because games, whether they're pinball games, platformers, whatever, they will go on both logic. Where sometimes that, oh gosh, really that fast? How embarrassing. 207? No, 208670. Alright. So it is time for Solar Striker next. Yeah, we won't bother entering in our score because it's not going to last. Alright. All you have to do is swap my cartridges out. And there we go. And yeah, so this game was a collaboration between Nintendo R&D 1, who actually created the Game Boy itself, and Minakuchi Engineering, which is a company I've never heard of before beyond the context of this game. Now, I know the title screen here has, and by the way, this is genuinely the first time I've ever played going to have played this game. I've booted up to this title screen just to make sure that test the volume level, make sure that's good, and make sure the game actually ran, because I've had the game sitting in a shoebox for years and never actually popped it into my my Game Boy or anything. So this game has a copyright date on screen of 1989, because I am playing Human H's version that the Advanced Controller sent over to me, along with copies of all his other cartridge games, but the game did not come out until 1990. So here we go, Nintendo's only space shooter of this type. I've never played this game before, I've never even heard the music, so let's see if this is any good. What's happening? I have no idea what's happening. The music's cool. The music's... This is interesting. I have no idea what's happening. I'm gonna restart the game. Oh, you know what? I think this is... the game's actually malfunctioning. The game's actually malfunctioning, I think. Alright. This is... I'm very sure the game's just actually malfunctioning. Okay. Alright, let me try this again. The music's cool at least, but, Alright, let's try this again. Alright, here we go. And we go. Yeah, we're gonna have to try again. Yeah, this is the wonders of using original hardware and vintage equipment. All right. All right. Gonna try this again. All right. All right, we're good. We're good. We got the title screen. All right, stage 1 ready. We're going. Let's do this. Let's do this. Yeah. Oh, it scrolls. Oh, there's the left and right a bit. Wow. Okay. Oh, that's okay. Good. You can hold the button. You can hold the button to fire. Well, that's gonna make this a lot easier. Much less likely to damage my wrists. Oh yeah, this reminds me of a game for the Mega Duck, which is an actual system that came out in Hong Kong that later released for the Game Boy. Hey, we got double shots. All right. Yeah, I'm just holding the button. Yeah, this reminds me of the game for the Mega Duck. It was called Dan Laser, and it was basically this, but worse. And it's weird now. Oh my goodness, I actually took a death. Okay. Yeah, and I lost my power-up. That's how these games tend to go. You get stronger and stronger. Now, this is a game where I do have... Oh, doggone. Okay. Why did I try to... Oh, no. Yeah, I think that was a power-up, but I had to shoot it in order to... Yeah, very, as Ezra was saying, very much an evolution of the, of Space Invaders, that being the original, spaceship versus a massive armada of enemy ships. But, instead of hiding behind barricades, it's kind of funny how in Space Invaders, your cannon is attached to the ground. You can only scroll left and right. Oh, we have a boss. This game, I'm getting exactly what I hoped for from this game when I bought it years ago. Oh, doggone. Okay, 28300 is our first score. Okay. 28300. How sad. Aw. Alright. That wasn't bad. We got to the boss of the first stage first time around. That's not so bad. Yeah, I love that music. Okay, let's get started. Yeah, now I know... most of the deaths I took were for me foolishly sandwiching myself deliberately placing myself in front of bullets from enemies that are low to the screen, which I did not need to do. I mean, yeah, that was just that. I never saw a game malfunction. Yeah. Yeah, I never saw a game malfunction due to, like, just being old or the cartridge malfunctioning. You see, that right there, that was very foolish of me. I was lucky to survive that. We got the double gun. We got the double laser here. Oh, very. Yeah, so I just realized what I need to do. I need to stick by the bottom of the screen. And I have to stick to the bottom of the screen. And aim. I have to stay to the bottom. And keep my eyes on the top. Oh, I love how charmingly generic this game is. And that is not at all an insult. This is exactly what I hoped for from this game. Yeah. No point in going out to get the power-up. The power-up will come to me if I'm patient. I got the triple cannon. Nice. I don't know. I saw in the few period reviews I took a glance at, or comments on it, I heard complaints that the power-ups were not very satisfying. I feel these power-ups are okay. Yeah, yeah, the cartridge was in shock to finally be played after all these decades. I mean, for all I know, no one's popped this cartridge in since the early to mid 90s. I don't know. All right. All right. So I ignore the boss. I just watch the bullets. I ignore the boss and watch the bullets because, especially with this triple shot, my bullets will eventually land. Okay. Oh, nice, nice, nice. All right, so we went from getting game over on the first boss to getting to the first boss and beating it without even losing any lives. All right. I just want to... Alright, just make a save state there so I can practice on the stage later. I do intend to genuinely play my way through. Alright. Yeah, I almost consulted the manual to make sure I was even playing the game right. I'm like, what is going on? I see the game's working, but the characters don't appear? I've never seen a game malfunction in that specific manner. I don't know, I heard people say this game was really hard. It's not so hard so far. But I say that... Ooh, yeah, look at these big torpedoes. I heard people say that the power-ups weren't very satisfying. This feels satisfying to me. Did I just... Oh, no! A doggone. Okay. Oh, that's nice. I guess when you get to a certain point... Yeah, is these just random bullets flying from the side? Like, what is this? Ooh, you have a speed segment? Yeah, even the clouds and the stars in the background, it really does add to the feeling that we are traveling and that we're not just, like... Oh, on a static screen fighting waves of enemies. Oh yeah, we got our big torpedoes back. And it made it clear... Oh, boss time, here we go. Oh, it's a big ship, okay. Oh, this one actually... Far more of a severe threat because he actually travels to the bottom of the screen. We got him! We got him! Nice, nice. Alright, cool. Wow, stage 3... Oh, wow, we have like a runway? Are those supposed... Oh, no, they were flying over a highway, I see. And it's funny, these enemies here look interestingly similar to modern... remote control drones. Oh no, I took a hit. Okay. That was a little clumsy. Okay, so we have different music. That's nice, because I was worried it was just going to be that same music the whole time. I mean, that music was cool. If they were going to go with only one track, they might as well go with that one, but... It's for the main level theme, but, oh, wow, we got ground vehicles attacking us. Alright, so even though these vehicles are clearly supposed to be on the ground, it's not like Xevious where we have to drop bombs on them, a game I don't think I've actually played on stream before. Yeah, and so the storyline, well, we'll read this, we'll catch up on the lore of this game later, but it's definitely But the lore of this game kind of goes a long way to explain why this one ship is able to tear through hordes of enemies like this. Yeah, you're gonna... Oh no, I got so fixated on tearing through that tank formation that Oh, okay. Yeah. Rest in peace. Rest in pieces. Yeah, so for the only 91300. 91300. Yeah, we more than tripled our score from our first attempt, which is cool. But how about we check out for a minute the manual? Alright, so the manual for this game, I took a glance at it. For those of you ready to get back to the gameplay, don't worry, there isn't much to this one. Solar Striker. Thank you for purchasing the Nintendo Game Boy Game Pack Solar Striker. Before you play, we suggest that you read this booklet thoroughly to ensure maximum enjoyment of your new game. Be sure to save this booklet for future reference. Yeah, so game story. Here we go. Here's the deep lore of Solar Striker. In the year 2159, Earth has been attacked by the forces from the planet Reticulon. Several hundred years ago, Reticulon sent messages conveying their intent to attack. How polite of them. The Earth Federation government was formed, unifying the whole world. This is not appropriate music at all. The Earth would be protected by the Federation Army. Unfortunately, the power of the aggressive Reticulon forces proved too much for the Federation Army. Earth was subjected to a crushing defeat. There is one last chance. The Federation Army has a secret megabase on the moon. Hey, my people! Here, the Earth's finest scientists and technicians have developed an ultra-performance fighter ship. Not high performance, ultra-performance. The name of this fighter is Solar Striker. The only way to foil the menacing Reticulon's mission is to fly to their home planet and destroy its core. Okay, we're just gonna... straight to genocide, huh? Okay, fine. This is where their main computer is housed. Without it, they will be helpless. A or B button fires missiles. Keep the button held down for rapid fire. Pause the game. Select button. Not used. So, okay, increase the power of your missiles. Even they're always called missiles. That's interesting. I think I call the little ones like a laser. The power of your missiles increases when you fly over the power-up items that appear throughout the game. Your missiles have 4 different power levels. Alright, so we actually got the maximum lasers. Oh, look, we can look at some of the enemy names. This is interesting. Romotech. The flying saucer, the cruisers, the bugs are called Harrier. This thing is called Miditron. This is Octopod. Twerk, huh? Okay. A Scarab and a Blazer. Oh, we have boss spoilers. Jeez. Stage bosses. Boss 1. Epicam. Boss 2. Destructor. Boss 3. Ultra Crusher. Yeah, we're not gonna spoil all the bosses, but we got more enemies. The Protopod. The Batwing. The Pincher. Arrowhead, Zigzag, Vexor, Warhawk, Anthrop, Skimbot, Mac, Terra Cannon, and Powerpod. Yeah. Oh, so it's interesting. We actually have, I didn't realize this, we have actual description. Harrier, these will try to ram into you from the side. Miditron, watch out for the lasers. Blazer, you should have the most powerful missiles before you try to defeat these. Yeah, Vexor, these fire 3 missiles at a time. Warhawk, watch out for its lasers. Anthrop fires big missiles. You get 500 points when you destroy a missile. Okay, you get points for blowing up the ammo. Their shots, so... Skimbot drives on the roads in Area 3. We saw these. Okay, so those are meant to be... Yeah, it's interesting that we have this depth thing where you have ground-based enemies, but the lasers and on the aerial spaceship still affect it. Whereas other games... and if an enemy is on the ground like a tank, you actually have to drop a bomb on them and sort of maybe even reckon the perspective to hit them properly. So Terra Cannon blocks wards in Area 3, very hard to destroy. Yeah, we found that out the hard way. Power Pod changes into an item when shot. So we have the spoilers for the bosses. We have 6. Oh, stage 6 has multiple sub-bosses. I mean, I said I wasn't going to spoil these, but I mean, honestly, very few of these look recognizably like spaceships. But I think we can go back to the game now. Oh yeah, that music is so cool. All right, let's try. Let's give this a shot. All right. All right. So this is my first time. For those who joined during the manual reading segment, this is my first time playing this game. This is a game I've had in my library for a number of years, and I was shocked to discover no more than a month ago. And the reason I was attracted to this game, I didn't have the box, but I did see the cartridge in the pawn shop I got this from. And when I saw the cartridge, I'm like, you know what? This game, something about it looks charmingly generic. And I like charmingly generic games. I like the kind of games that are like what a kid's mom 30 years ago would imagine a game as like. And this game very much leans into that. And so just looking at the cartridge art, it kind of spoke to my heart. Oh, so Human Age is a vegetarian too, huh? Like, I don't eat any animals. I mean, Lunarians are naturally omnivorous, but culturally, like, we really just don't eat meat or fish. We really just don't eat other animals. Because Doorworm hosts, when you are a host to a Doorworm, and my species is particularly, you know, we kind of co-evolved together, some Doorworms, so when Doorworms take a host, that host typically tends to, their, I guess, metabolism tends to shift towards being better suited for a plant-based diet anyway, and Doorworms traditionally, well, Doorworms are just herbivores, frugivores anyway. So we really don't, our culture, our economy really doesn't really revolve around the consumption or production of meat anyway. But it's interesting that Human H is also a vegetarian. I guess that's just something H's tend to gravitate towards. And I'm guessing he's from Arvern, and if he's from Arvern, if it's anything like my Arvern, I cannot assume that there's necessarily an L-town in that Arvern. Oh, we're up. I was running my mouth. We're already up to the first stage boss, and because this first stage boss stays up there, I really don't have to worry about him. I really just have to weave between his bullets, because if I just keep my finger on the button, we're eventually gonna blow this guy up. Yeah. So if those who came in during the manual reading segment, this boss, this game. Yeah, I got this years ago. I did not realize until recently that it was one of the this is effectively the only Nintendo developed, or Nintendo co-developed, because this was between Nintendo and a company, a Japanese company with a very Japanese name that I do not have memorized. I mean, Nintendo is a very Japanese name, but I'm used to discussing Nintendo. They're a famous company I've been discussing my whole life and playing their games for nearly my whole life. Whereas the company, they're in my ticker. Yeah, the company that co-developed this game along with Nintendo R&D 1. Yeah, look at that. Look at that score. Look at those numbers go up and up. So satisfying. Oh, doggone. Okay. All right. Well, we got our. We were close to. Oh, doggone! Oh my goodness! I keep taking these unnecessary hits. I need to not try to be clever. I think I just want a ship back. Okay, here we go. That speed segment. So those show on the left, the right. I'm expecting there'll be patterns we'll be able to memorize eventually. Alright. Yeah, look at... Yeah, it's amazing that as quintessential a game company as Nintendo is. I mean, Nintendo, they are just the game company. If you think of a company, they're like the archetypal game company, right? Meanwhile... Yeah, so... Yeah, it's interesting. When you get blown up, it lets you continue from where you were at, but when you run out of lives, it's game over for realsies. Oh boy, this guy is a bullet sponge. Oh, I just barely survived that encounter right there. Flirting with the very edge. Ooh, these big bullets they're not that fast as... Okay, alright, he didn't blow up, so I wasn't expecting to clear the stage. Or maybe it's a time thing, I don't know. So here we... Now, I noticed we were in space before, and then we're over the clouds. Now we can see the planet's surface. So they said we have to fly into the planet's core and blow it up. And I love always... I haven't played a lot of these games, but they've always had a very strong appeal to me. The idea of being this lone ship, this super-powered ship, this unique prototype that can tear through the enemy's fleet like like a hot knife through butter, but is just so very delicate that could only take a couple of hits before being destroyed. And that your faction, your planet, your species, whatever, is placing all of its hope on this one ship, making it through and disarming the enemy. Games like G-Lock. No, not G-Lock. I forgot. There was some game for Game Gear that was like the first game I really played of this nature. But no, G-Lock is a first-person... sort of more simulation type game where you play as a fighter plane on Earth. There was a side-scrolling game. I forgot what it's called. I'll have to get my hands on a copy. It's the first time I thought of it in a number of years. But it's a game... It's... Oh, gosh. Darn it. Oh, my... Alright. 91,000... 91,300. You know what? No. 7,000... 78,900. I was about to say, there's no way I got the same score as last time. I did get a nice round number. But what I think is cool is that this game shows your top score, and so the best score during this play session, as well as your current score, the score you got on this session. I like... This game strikes this nice balance between a score attack game, like my sensory deprivation games I play, versus Pinball, Attack of the Gator, Alleyway, but it also gives you a nice sense of progress and accomplishing a concrete goal aside from just making the numbers go up. So this is a game I think that could end up being something that makes it routine appearances. Now, right around the time I started the last session, Galactaboy was asking if I'm a vegetarian like Human H, and I was thinking about, I had a thought like, there's so much food I could talk about, talking about, Lunarian food, local food, because even, species thing aside, the fact that my worlds, I don't know if the people in Arvern of my world are reading the same kind of stuff as the people in Arvern of your world. And I did check. I wasn't able to get far, but I did check. Your world does have a New York City and an Arvern. So I would be very excited to learn more about that. But there are all kinds of complications. There's, basically import and export laws for information between membranes. And I do have the intermembrane broadcast licenses, but that doesn't necessarily cover information aside from what directly pertains to the games themselves. So my hope is whenever that advanced controller being gets back in touch with me, I would like to see if we could maybe arrange for some intermembrane information exchange licenses. I could maybe tell you a bit more about my world, which would be very exciting. My world being Earth in another world. People always ask, "Oh, are you actually from Lunau?" I'm like, "No, of course I'm not from Lunau. I'm from Queens." Okay. 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 Oh my goodness. This is not my session. 21,200. Okay. That was by far my most pathetic attempt yet. I did not even get to the first boss. That's alright. Because we don't have to put quarters into this thing. You know, I don't know if this game ever came out on the 3DS Virtual Console. And if it did not come out on the 3DS Virtual Console, I wonder if the fact that this was co-developed with a third-party company complicates the copyright ownership of this title. Because for many, many years, it wasn't until the Nintendo Switch that a straight-up home port, a home emulation, officially authorized home emulation of the original Donkey Kong was made available to the public, because a third-party company helped Nintendo program the game, basically did most of the programming while Nintendo did the design work, as I understand. So Nintendo, Game Boy, it was a collaboration between Nintendo, R&D1, and Minakuchi Engineering. So I wonder if that collaboration is part of the reason I don't think this game was ever re-released digitally. And why Nintendo really doesn't mention it much in their history. You know, yeah, I had this game in my library for years. Hold on. What? Kalakaboy is asking, do they have furry conventions like Anthrocon in your world? I'm going to take it that furry does not. That yeah, that's not a nice thing to say to a Lunarian in my world. But judging by the context, it must mean something completely different. And if given that you clearly did not mean it as an insult, I do not take it as such. But yeah, if you could explain to me what that is while I save my planet from these hostile invaders, I'd be more than happy to hear whatever that is that you're talking about, and I'll explain it if I know anything like that in my world. Okay, so those are the ones that turn into the power-ups, and you have to get a couple more to upgrade your laser. Okay. Ooh, oh yeah. Oh yeah, that was smooth. You see that? Okay. And what are these called? These are called cruisers, the flying saucers? Yeah, I have to remember. Ooh. It's people who dress up as furry characters. Go on. I'm willing to. I'm interested. Whatever this is sounds interesting. I'm willing to hear more about this. Alright, time to take this boss out. This boss that I really have to do nothing except for weave around their bullets. Because they don't come down here. You know what? This is like a vertical version. It's kind of sad. This is actually genuinely more strategically difficult as the first level boss than the final boss of Super Mario Land, because all Tatenga does is go up and down and shoot those 3 laser balls at a time. Ah. Alright, so they were in space. Now we're in the clouds, so we're just gradually getting closing in on the planet. So we could... I mean, the planet... I guess it's a human activity? I guarantee... I hang out with lots of humans. I've never heard of anything like this. If you could... Yeah, Yeah, you don't have to try to explain something to me if you don't think I'm going to understand it. I'm going to look... Eventually, when I get secure some information exchange licenses where I know I'm not going to get fined or something... because I clearly already have access to your world's internet, but, yeah, I'd be willing to look this up and learn more about it. I want to look at what Arvern is like in your world. That's going to be cool. But, I can't really progress anything in terms of obtaining information exchange licenses until the advanced controller calls me back, and I don't know when that is, so in the meantime, I am just going to keep enjoying games and sharing them with you. Okay, yeah, it's so ironic that they hard-coded 89 release date into the title screen when the game didn't actually end up coming to retail until January of 1990. Humans that love taking on a persona of a humanized animal. Is this like the foodie fandom, but with animals? Because that would be like, okay, is this like the foodie fandom but with animals? Because that's like a thing in my world. Like, there was this cartoon in the early 90s, like Wacky Deli, and like, even though it's, oh my gosh, like, don't get me started. Like, it is, no, okay, I'm not being judgmental. But, like, yeah, the food role-playing scene in my world is, well, let's just say it gets pretty interesting pretty fast, and I'm not sure how much I could even discuss on Twitch without getting into some kind of trouble or offending somebody. Yeah, this is going to be an interesting world to be streaming to. And, oh, doggone, oh, okay, alright, we can salvage this, No, yeah, you tried to ram me from the side, I saw that, okay. Alright, blast through these guys. We're almost up to the... And this is not the kind of shooter that I think has randomized patterns. This is the kind of shooter that I think is going to be very easy to memorize the patterns if we play enough. And boy oh boy, is this a game that you're going to be playing a lot of, or I'm going to be playing a lot of. So has anyone in chat actually heard of this game before today? Because I never heard of this game before I saw it in the display case of the pawn shop. I did not know it was a Nintendo-published game and that it was the only Nintendo-published game of this genre. And please don't mind the train. The only Nintendo-published shooter of this genre until about a month ago. And I was like, oh yeah, I was gonna play Pokemon. I know my plans kind of got derailed by that, by the whole, you know, human age going missing excitement. But, once I learned that this was the only, not only that I had it in my collection, it was the only Nintendo-published game of this type, yeah, I definitely had to play this. Because I was getting into this before. I haven't played a lot of games. The only games of whether vertical or side-scrolling games I played like this, where you play as a little spaceship and destroy other ships and complete courses. I'm not counting Galaga. That's like a single-screen game to me. I'm like games like this, games like, you know, games that can trace their lineage back to Xevious specifically. I would say that the games such as Zero Wing I played, one game for Game Gear, I forgot the name of it. I used to have it back in the 90s and I sold it rather foolishly. I need to add it again to my collection someday. Or I could... Doggone! I am playing like butt. Okay. 47,500. We're adding to the score. Oh yeah, this is going to be one where I will create a ticker and be updating it periodically. Yeah, this game, I think, is a good balance between my enjoyment of score attack games and not being a total sensory deprivation nightmare like versus Pinball or Alleyway. Okay. Yeah, because I never heard anyone, I never even heard Jeremy Parish talk about this game, and Jeremy Parish made multiple long videos on the history. Oh, I phased right through that bullet. That was sweet. Of Alleyway, which is a game no one talks about, and he is not that impressed by, though he is very respectful of its significance in Game Boy and Nintendo history and in Intelligent Systems history. Alright. Yeah, great music. The graphics are simple, but I enjoy looking at them. Yeah, yeah. Look at me tear through those ships. Yeah. Yeah, I need to keep my eyes. Yeah, I was like he was like a pixel away from entering my hitbox. Yeah, on this stage especially to trust, hey, my ship's at the bottom of the screen. I gotta keep my eyes on the upper screen to engage the enemies and dodge the bullets as quickly as possible. Don't worry about rushing up to get the power-ups. The power-ups will come to you. Yeah, tear through that. Oh, yeah. This is fun. I'm enjoying myself. Oh, yeah, I always have fun when I'm streaming. This is the most fun I've had on playing. Oh, darn it. Okay. This is the most fun I've had with a new title on stream, discovering a new title live in a while. Yeah, but for games of this type I've played. Zero Wing, that Game Gear game that I forgot the name of. Then... No, well, I'll go with the order I actually played them. First game I played of this type was that Game Gear game, which I played in like 95. Then I played... Really didn't play another game quite like this until Zero Wing, which I played through unofficial preservation means on my computer. It is a Genesis game. I now have official access to it through Nintendo Switch Online, which I want to. This is starting me on a shooter kick. Because this is a genre I have wanted to explore. So, a Zero Wing. So the Game Gear game, Zero Wing. Really, I didn't play another game of this type up until Ikaruga, which I played the GameCube version of. Doggone. Yeah, I played Ikaruga on GameCube. And really, I was always fascinated by, you know, you can't mention Ikaruga without mentioning Radiant Silvergun, a game I do have on Switch. I have not played it before. Yeah, that's a game I'll be spending some time to. I've had Ikaruga on Switch. I only played it a couple of times, but it's a game I got wanting to stream it someday. Yeah, Ikaruga. Yeah, so really... Oh yeah, and how could I forget Fantasy Zone, the shooter with Lisa Frank syndrome. Space combat so cute you don't want to quit. Ah, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, so Fantasy Zone, I've got a few stages into. So Fantasy Zone, Zero Wing, Solar Striker, and that Game Gear, and Ikaruga. Really, I love this genre and the idea behind this genre, but I've only really played 5 games in total of this genre, which is really interesting. So there's a whole world. There are people who collect nothing but shooters. Games like famous shooters like Musha. And I never properly got that far in Zero Wing. I just know I enjoyed it. Even aside from the infamous "All Your Base Are Belong to Us" meme. Even aside from that. Alright. Hey, so, hey, how about... Oh, this is fun. Yeah, so many games I want to play. I guess the next game I'd probably play would be that Game Gear title I played when I was a kid. And then Zero Wing, which I haven't played since like 2005 or something via emulation. And the first time I'll be playing it with a proper Genesis gamepad on an officially licensed, officially authorized copy of the game digitally via Nintendo Switch Online. So that'll be fun. And I do want to address and explore, because my history with the game isn't just with the game itself, it is of course with the infamous meme of the mistranslated opening sequence. For those who do not know, Zero Wing is the game that the phrase "all your base are belong to us" comes from. And I really do adore the ornamental use of non-grammatically proper English, not making fun of someone who's genuinely trying to learn or communicate in the language, but when, you know, budget cuts and just a lack of time and lack of, you know, when they really don't care, hey, we just need it in English, we don't care how well it is. And also if it's strictly ornamental, where it's like, hey, English, it looks stylish for branding purposes, so we'll just make it say anything, and it doesn't have to make any sense. And when English is written or spoken with the grammar of very different languages, it kind of peels back the inner workings of what English is, what these words mean, why these combinations of words mean the things that we understand them and trust them to mean as those of us who are English speakers. As for other languages I may speak that I don't think I could talk about in incredible detail, if you want to see the VOD of my first stream. Oh, and Clackaboy is buying bubble milk tea right now. Tell me, that sounds delicious. Tell me about. I want to know about bubble milk tea. Oh my goodness, it's a tank. It's a giant tank. Okay. Oh my gosh, I got. Dog gone. Okay. 97600. Alright, so how about we make one more attempt at this, and then we will read a period magazine that has some coverage of this game. The only one I was able to find, I honestly didn't go looking for period coverage of this game until right before I started playing. And I am taking down... Wow, this is my best score yet. That was my best score yet. Well, it makes sense. I got further than ever before. Never before had I gotten to the boss of the ground stage. And with the theming of this game, it seems we start in space, we go on to above the clouds, then we move on to... Yeah, so it's like we're just getting closer and closer to the center of the planet. Now, I would love to know if anyone has played this game before, if anyone's familiar with it. Alright, one more shot, and then we'll open up a Nintendo Power and read about this game for a little while. There we go. Bam! 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 Nice. Okay, and yeah, I just have to remember to keep low. And there's really no way these guys can outgun me. I know I normally say like, oh, I'll wait until the power-up comes to me, but the double shot, it's too useful to leave sitting around. Okay. So we're tearing through these easy enemies in the front. This level's no longer stress-inducing. This is a very simple level to get through. What I have to do now is pay attention and make my way towards starting to memorize these enemy and bullet patterns. Now I wonder if these bullet patterns are the enemy patterns, the enemy waves. I wonder if they are very specific to, if they're pre-programmed, they just do whatever, or if they react to my behavior as a player piloting the ship. Yeah, I could, this is going to be a genre that I'm going to slowly be discovering in the months to come, in between the other games I'll be playing. Because my scheme right now, one of the ideas I've had, maybe not with Pokemon. Pokemon I'll probably play on the weekdays too. But in general, I was thinking of perhaps having my Wednesday games be more high-score-oriented games. Games where, you know, maybe some single-screen games, and watching some old media that I could run here on Twitch. And then the Wednesday streams be more in-depth experiences. Okay, I forgot to hold down the button for a second. Lost a few frames where I could have been getting shots in on this guy. I mean, the ship, the simple pixel art, the ship I'm fighting against, that's a very cool spaceship design, honestly. And plus, I love little single-person, I mean, I say ships, but I guess more strictly speaking, for a contemporary Earth equivalent, we'd probably describe them sooner as fighters. And the ship would be like a mothership, like a battle, not a battleship, but like the space-bound equivalent of an aircraft carrier that would service and re-equip and repair the fighters. But we don't have that luxury here. We're just a single... You know what? I just thought of something interesting. Just conceptually. It's... Why do they show your ship actually exploding and then get replaced by another ship? And the context of the lore, and this is something that's true of a lot of shooters probably, in the context of the lore, it would make more sense if your number of ships left, as it's represented here, would just be how many shots, how many impacts your ship could withstand before it explodes. So it doesn't break universe like, oh, I exploded. Oh, don't worry, there's another ship waiting right behind it. No, and, oh, doggone. Okay, 49,800. That was not that great of a... 49,800. A game very close to breaking the 100,000. But I think that's... I mean, a winning score is going to be over 100,000 for sure, I say. But for now... Okay, so... Okay. Oh, we're getting a bit of lore in chat. From Kalakaboy. Bubble milk tea comes in different flavors. Theirs is a black tea mixed with milk. Then they put these chewy gummy type balls. Ooh. I like gummy stuff. These gooey gummy type balls on the bottom of the drink. They give you an extra large straw so you can slurp up the drink, and you also get a few of the chewy bubbles to chew on. It's a delightful experience. I hope they have these places in my world. I am going to have to look into that. Now, the thing about my world, we do get a lot of cultural interchange with other worlds. Like, for instance, I mean, heck, I work at a library that archives books from other worlds. So that's not much of a surprise. We've had contact with other universes, Earths, since around 1910, officially speaking. The AD equivalent, Anno Domini equivalent of 1910. So in my world, it would have been like LC 6509-010-ish, with the current year in my world being 6624. But be clear, I do not live in the future. But let's check out a magazine that has some coverage of this game. Actually, no, let's not look at the magazine. Let's look at this. This is a book I found. Yeah, I did not get this from Ocean Library's digital archives, which I do have access to, but I do not think I have a license to share books. But from that, but we have from archive.org, How to Win at Game Boy Games by Jeff Rovin. Unofficial guide, not endorsed by Nintendo. Unstoppable. Alright, now this is going to be interesting. So, just when everyone was wondering what the folks at Nintendo were going to do for an encore, the Game Boy system made its electrifying debut. Game Boy is a system that does away with bulky hardware and that listless, always in front of the living room TV feeling. Now you can take the thrill of Nintendo games with you anywhere, be it the local swimming pool. Oh, I have memories of that. On vacation. Oh yeah. Or while buying groceries. Oh yeah. Yep. I remember my mom's doorworm curled around my wrist, tugging me along while I played Pokemon and other games on my Game Boy. Didn't do it much with the Game Gear. That was more something that was a little too big to wield, really stash in my pocket. And now we don't advise using it in class the day of the big exam. Yeah, you know, kids were sneaking their Game Boys into class like that. And just when you were undoubtedly wondering what video game legend Jeff Rovin was going to do a follow-up to his titanic bestsellers, How to Win at Nintendo Games 1, 2, 3, Sports, and Super Mario Bros., here comes old Jeff again, with just the Game Boy System guidebook you've been looking for, packed with facts, tactics, and overall strategies for coming out on top on the best and most exciting games you could play on the Game Boy System. And let's not forget Jeff's special added attraction of tips on winning at Atari's Lynx system. Okay, I have some catching up to do on the game history of your world, but How to Win at Game Boy Games is the only unofficial guide you'll ever need to understanding what makes the Game Boy and Lynx systems tick. Look at his bibliography here, all these different books he's worked on. Okay. How to Win at Game Boy Games. 1991, so 65-91 in my world. So look at all these games. Bad and Rad, Balloon Kid, Batman. Then Balloon Kid's that's going to be a fun game to play. Boomer's Adventure in Asmic World. Never heard of that. Bugs Bunny Crazy Castle. That sounds like fun. Dr. Mario. That's a heck of a spin-off. Fall of the Foot Clan. Okay. The Final Fantasy Legend. Now that's a game that I never beat as a kid. Oh, doggone. Okay. That's a game I never beat as a kid, the Final Fantasy Legend. Okay. Hyper Load. Oh yeah, Load Runner. Lots of Game Boy Oh, Quarth. Now that's a fun game. That's a great game, Quarth. Snoopy's Magic Show. Tetris. Okay, now we want to do... We are looking for, not Load Runner, we're looking for 157 for Solar Striker. We're on page 71. Need to get to page. Let's see what they have to say about Hyper Load Runner. Yeah, okay, so 157, 44, 60, so we're a few pages. Gotta go up a few pages. Solar Striker, not much to say about this one apparently. Type, space shoot 'em up. It's those old rats from Reticulon, come to Earth in the year 2159, intent on conquest. From Earth's megabase on the moon. Hey, my people! Not that I could reason that... Hold on, where's my... Here we go. Yeah. So from Earth's megabase on the moon, you must fly out and meet the enemy fleet. Hero. Your ship, Solar Striker, can fly anywhere on the screen while firing towards the top at the oncoming enemy. You'll encounter power-ups, P, along the way. Collecting them boosts your ship's missile levels. If you perish, having collected a number of Ps, you'll return with half of them. Villains. The enemy ships move in different ways and fire various projectiles. These vessels are pictured in the instruction booklet. Yeah, good thing. Yeah, don't spend money on illustrations here. Well, I mean, actually, they could potentially, theoretically, have copyright problems, though for at least copyright in my world, Redemption Center 5, when it comes to a manual or guide that explains how to use a piece of software, a video or computer game being a piece of software, a screenshot of reasonable resolution is considered within fair use, but I can't save, probably playing it safe and saving a lot of money on illustrations. So, points. The points awarded for destroying each ship are described in the instructions. You could list the, okay, I mean, listing the points, but if you can't show what the enemies look like, I guess there's really not much point in. Okay, so strategy. There are a few tactics to use in this game. In the end, though, everything's going to depend on the player's speed and reflexes. Strategically, the bottom line with this game is simple, and it's just that: stay on the very bottom. Fire away as ships emerge. Your projectiles will hit most of them before they could disgorge bombs at you, and you can more easily evade those few explosives. Moreover, if you're low on the screen, you can get off another shot should the first one miss. If a ship does get by you, rise up slightly from the bottom to let it pass under you, then settle back down and continue firing. Whatever you do, if a single ship gets away, don't chase it. Yeah, I lost my fair share of ships trying to chase after enemies. You'll only end up in a corner, a sitting duck for the ships you ignored while pursuing just one. So stage 1, I'm not going to spoil past what we've gotten up to, so we'll read the strategies for the first few stages. Stage 1. This is typical of what you'll have to face, and it's the only one that goes slowly enough for us to point out valuable maneuvers. You'll use variations of these throughout the game, only faster. To begin with, just shift from side to side, covering the center third of the screen to deal with the rotomechs. When the proto-droids arrive, go to the left to destroy the wave there. Then go to the left side to destroy... No, proto-droids arrive, go to the left to destroy the wave there. Then go to the right side. Shortly after the first P, the Harriers arrive from alternative sides. Sweep from left to right to get them. Cruisers join the fray shortly after and descend in columns from the right and to the left. After which the others make return appearances. The stage boss, Epichan, descends straight down the center, very on the bottom. Keep shooting it up while dodging its waves of projectiles. The way to beat it is to watch the bombs, not the ship. Move from one side in several jerking steps to avoid the wave moving that way, then to the other side to miss that wave. Even without looking at the boss, a steady fire will destroy it. Stage 2. The fun starts with a few rotomechs to lull you into a state of complacent familiarity. After which pinchers charge in with their halting attacks. But the rotomechs return. Did they have a sale on these things at the intergalactic munitions plant? Along with the arrowheads. The boss here, Destructor, moves in a figure 8 while launching bubble bombs, which can be destroyed for points and survival. Shoot when the boss is at the top of the screen, then get above it so you'll have room to maneuver. Stage 3. It's a skimbot attack to start things rolling. Nip between the rows, blasting the vessels as they appear. Zigzags follow, weaving in and out. Slide left and right under their ranks. When the mechs show up, they won't fire at once. That'll give you time to get over and pick off these powerful adversaries. Terra cannons are plentiful, and next you can rush them from side to side and try to get them all. But it's suggested that you stick to one side, blasting ahead while noting the patterns of fire from the other and avoiding it. Ultra Crusher is the boss, and it will start firing at once as it moves in to, well, crush you. Get up close, fast, and get in your shots while dodging its fire, and then get behind it when it descends, and then under it when it rises. Wait. Excuse me? Excuse me? There are only 6... There are 6 stages to this game. Why are there only... Okay. There are 6 stages to this game. For some reason... Laziness, perhaps? There are only... yeah, I'm just kind of in disbelief that there are only strategies for the first 4 stages when there's 6. Alright. Specific advice... Okay, let's read this. It's just... Okay. Ditto Batwings. Shoot ahead of the next ship's Warhawks and let them fly to your area. The sub-boss is Omniquad, a tough cookie. You'll have to get to the central computer by shooting away at the surrounding pods, avoiding its fire. Okay, so this is a boss we got up to this boss, we did not actually fight him. We might as well read the strategy for this, given that there are no more strategies. So, surrounding pods, this lets you fight with economy. It lets you create a space zone on that side of the Omniquad. Ranking C. This is one of the oldest kinds of Nintendo games, harkening back to Alpha Mission for the NES. Yeah, this was in a phase... yeah, this is... NES being your world's equivalent of the advanced video system. Pretty much, people used to call any game Nintendo games, no matter what system they were, if that was... And it seems like that's the case in your world, too. There are virtually no creative embellishments. The enemies are pretty faceless, and except for their moves and too few variations or surprises. Also, the power-ups are pretty unsatisfying, and there are no warps or continues, which can get frustrating. Good for fans who thrive on fast play of this sort. Alright, so how about we take a little break, and when we come back, we're going to read the January-February issue of Nintendo Power from 1990 AD, the cover story being the Batman game, which, if our histories line up, was put out by Sunsoft. And I took a glance, there is coverage of Solar Striker in here. So I will see you in a minute, and thank you very much for watching. Okay, here we go. This is what we want to see. Hey, I plan to be streaming for a while to come. So how about I'm going to set the timer for... Hold on. Where's my timer? Here we go. Here we go. Yeah, so I'll be back in a few minutes because I'm going to be reading through this magazine and playing through the game some more. And that's going to wear down my voice. So I'm just going to definitely need to step back take a break for a minute, and we will be back with more of the show. Hey everybody, guess who was just talking for about 15 seconds with their mic turned off? It was me, Super Train Station H. But all I was saying is I wanted to add a little, I tried to on the fly add a little more variety to my playlist here, not just play my the theme music that essay music composed for me. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen without me going ahead and restarting the broadcast software, which would end the stream, which is not something I want to do. Because there are many of you watching, both active in chat and standing guard of my silent squad. For those who are sort of curious about the title, who might have come in during my break, we were watching, or playing, Solar Striker. My first time playing it whatsoever, my first time hearing it or seeing it in action. A charmingly generic vertical scrolling space shooter for the Game Boy with a 1989 copyright date that didn't actually release until January of 1990 anywhere in the world. The only type of game of this class that Nintendo's ever co-developed or published. And so we read the manual, we read a period book that had hints and strategies for lots of different Nintendo NES and Game Boy games. And now we're looking at the Nintendo Power that's going to have a little bit of coverage of the game. Alright, here we go. So if I... Yeah, okay, perfect. Perfect. There we go. That's perfect. So... move my ebook program over just a little bit. Okay. There. Okay. Okay. I thought I closed it for a second. All right. All right. So, earn a free Team Power Trip, free Power Tip poster, and help a friend earn his wings. Team Power Tips. I have no idea what this is. Definitely linking in with the Nintendo Power branding, but here's the best way we know to get your friends to stop borrowing your copy of Nintendo Power. Have them get their own subscription to the direct connection at the pros at Nintendo headquarters. It's the best place to go for superior gaming skills and the information you need for a smarter game pack selection. Don't forget to tell your friend about the new bonus tip books. When your friend fills out the attached card or coupon and mails it to Nintendo, he earns his bronze Team Power pin. Plus, he saves $6 off the regular cover price. At the same time, we send to you a big free Team Power color poster for your wall. It's full of incredible tips you can't get anywhere else. Yeah, lots of gender assumptions here, but whatever. Yeah, I think there are much worse problems a piece of ad copy could have. And this is definitely a compelling offer to try to, hey, we heard kids are trading around their Nintendo Powers on the playground, right? We want them to subscribe to Nintendo Power. So we give an incentive, hey, kid, with your Nintendo Power subscription, instead of letting all your friends read the magazine, you nag them to nag their parents to send this coupon in, they get their own subscription, and you both get some benefits for doing so. It's definitely a good solution to a very concrete problem, because unlike a sort of magazine of the nature of, oh, we're going to be covering celebrity gossip and the like, right? With Nintendo Power, when this is in an age before the internet, the modern internet, the forerunners to the internet. The internet existed in 1991, I believe this is, or 1990. Yeah, the internet existed, but not the World Wide Web, which would come later in the 90s. Oh, someone got us very slightly along the way to filling this out with putting that little 0 there. Okay. So oh wow, now this is interesting. The making of Super Mario Brothers. I thought, okay, here's what I thought this said. The making of Super Mario Brothers 3 through 20. I'm like, okay, so on pages 3 through 20, there'll be this. No, it's the making of Super Mario Brothers 3 on page 20. Yeah, I have, okay, to give some insight into my near medium-term plans, like through the end of this year, through the end up until autumn, let's say, up and through before the start of winter 2024 in this world, okay? My plans are beyond after this. I mean, Wednesday I'll be doing something, but next Saturday I'm starting Beyond Good and Evil 20th Anniversary Edition, which I'm only playing because instead of Pokemon, because I want to help visibility for that game, help get the word out about that game. And aside from Pokemon, Beyond Good and Evil is honestly one of the games I was most passionate about playing, and it's going to end up being, even though it's 21 years old now, it's going to end up being one of the most modern gameplay, in terms of game design theory and functionality. Beyond Good and Evil is going to be the most modern game I've played aside from Super Mario Odyssey, which was like 15 or 16 years later, so it's kind of weird. But yeah, so I'll be playing through Beyond Good and Evil through to the rest of the summer. Hopefully I could beat that sometime in August, but bigger, longer games, I either don't finish them and have to put them on the back burner, or they just don't get finished. The biggest, longest game I've yet to complete on stream, I'd say, is the original Paper Mario for Nintendo 64. When it comes to Beyond Good and Evil, I expect it will be no more than by the end of August. By September, I believe I'll be done with Beyond Good and Evil. The next big game after that is Pokemon. All right? So Pokemon Red before winter 2024. After that, I'm interested in going back and exploring some of the rest of the 8-bit Super Mario Brothers series and some of the smaller NES games we've maybe touched on briefly but haven't properly played through. Okay. So I'm taking a look here. Male nose job. I can't help but notice something interesting about Mario. Over the past couple of years, his nose has dramatically changed shape. It used to be sharp and droopy in Donkey Kong, but now in Super Mario Bros. 2, it's more rounded and somewhat elevated. As Mario, like... this is... excuse me. You can close that, and you can close this. So, as Mario, like many other successful superstars, had his nose fixed to improve his appearance. As we know, Jim, Mario has not undergone cosmetic surgery. Many famous characters do undergo gradual changes as they get older. For example, compare early drawings of Disney's Mickey Mouse with today's version. So career opportunities. Game counseling has always been interesting to me. I call the counselors for tips, and they seem like pretty cool guys. I was wondering, how do I become a game counselor? I'm a great player and know lots of tips. Do you guys have any branch offices? First of all, Drew, Nintendo does not have any branch offices. All our game counselors work here at our corporate headquarters in Wedmond, Washington. When we have openings for game counselors or other positions, those are advertised in Seattle metropolitan area newspapers. In addition to having high school diploma and excellent phone and writing skills, each game counselor must be a whiz at video games. You also need to live a little closer to our headquarters. So he's in Florida, Drew, and the position is, okay, here we go. Stay tuned for the real scoop. Okay. I feel like this is going to be... Nintendo Power was very infamous for gaslighting readers and gaslighting the public over anything that Nintendo of America did not officially announce. Nintendo Power treated it as though it did not exist. Flat out. So that's what I expect to be reading here. I recently read about Super Mario Bros. 3 and the Japanese Super Famicom in a competing magazine. I want to know why these things haven't been in Nintendo Power yet. Were you scooped on your own stuff? By Scott Tripp of Kennewick, Washington. The reasons these products have not made an appearance in Nintendo Power yet is because we focus on games that will be out soon or will be available for the American NES. Now that Super Mario Bros. 3 is close to being released here in the US, you can expect to see a lot more about it in Nintendo Power. As for the Super Famicom, that system is not yet out in Japan. Another reason we do not review products too far in advance is because changes are sometimes made before the game is actually released. Our goal is to deliver you information that is both timely and accurate. Well, that was actually for this sort of operation. It was pretty frank. Yeah, it was pretty frank actually. Alright. Nintendo Power, you got, solving the Goonies tool in one day, over 3 million points in Mega Man, and solving Super Mario Bros. 2 with 72, wow. Okay, 72 lives left. I like the descriptions, solving a game. This guy does not look 16 to me. A madman has taken over Gotham City, and only one soul has the power, the will, and the means to stop him. Batman. In the dark recesses above Gotham City, there lurks a mysterious figure, a masked manhunter on a quest for vengeance. Hoodlums, crooks, and thieves call this creature the Batman. And with awesome agility and an arsenal of high-tech gadgets, he has the skill to take on the evil underworld. Elsewhere, a sinister shell of a man deformed by chemical immersion designs on the demise of Gotham City. On Gotham's 200th anniversary, he plans to spread a paralyzing nerve gas, Simplex, and stop the citizens with a frozen smile. This Joker is an evil one. Batman has crossed paths with him before, and they are destined to meet again. Yeah, this game has cool music. Moth stage. Killer Moth. Now, I played this game. I did not get that far. I just know that the first stage is cool. It has cool music. Here's Shadowgate. From the world of PCs, the boundaries of your NES will open with Shadowgate, a PC-type mystery adventure. Here, the action takes place in your own imagination, aided by bold graphics and a unique cursor-guided selection screen. From the moment you stand before the gate of the castle, the final struggle against the dark power of the Warlock Lord, your fate will be decided by the choices you make. It's not an easy task. The land of Tarkus has been overrun by the ghoulish servants of the Warlock Lord. Warlock Lord is one word. His chief stronghold is the most ancient castle in the land, Shadowgate. Roll credits. Only a member of the fading timeline of Only a member of the fading line of kings can hope to enter Shadowgate and challenge the power that dwells there. Oh, okay. Oh, so we got a little overview of the game. I won't look too close at this, but I want to play Shadowgates. Okay, we are, hold on. I've got a document here. I'm officially adding Shadowgate. I'm officially adding Shadowgate to the list of games to play someday. And, but now this is something we'll scroll past this. We'll look at this when we get into Super Mario Bros. 1, 2, and 3. Oh, we've got Willow here. Yeah, these Nintendo Powers were big and thick with strategy stuff. So we'll scroll on through. Yeah, I'll never play the Super Spike Volleyball. I will never play that. What else we got here? The Cave of Apollo. River City Ransom. This is a game... I never owned it, but I've heard so many good things about it. Someday I will play this game. And I know this is sort of part of like a universe of games on the Famicom that use these very specific sprites and graphical styles. Yeah. Stone. Yeah. So we got a big walkthrough for this. Yeah, notice that for the games where they know, okay, we could definitely sell some good, some full-length strategy guides. They won't divulge too much in these, I bet. But we have the top games here. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Leo, Ralph, Mike, and Don have come a long way from the sewers to the dizzying heights of first place. Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. Now, the Zelda games, we'll be playing those as well. Almost, I mean, that goes without saying. It's kind of interesting that as much as I love Nintendo games, I've really held off on a lot of the more obvious choices to play on my stream so far. Instead playing weird stuff like Solar Striker. And I'm so glad I got this. I do enjoy this game. Super Mario Bros. 2. A lot of players are still losing sleep over the World of Dreams. The trick is to eat your veggies. Ha ha ha. Okay. Ninja Gaiden. Now, I knew some kids who would call this Ninja Gaiden because you're, instead of being like a guardian angel, you're a guardian because you're guiding the ninja through the game, and I'm like, huh? Okay. So, Legend of Zelda. Talk about legends. The staying power of Zelda is a legend of itself. It's never left the top 10. So, Blaster Master. Oh, Dino Wars. What a cool mech. A mech. Oh, wow, a robot dragon. That's cool. Is that? It's just. Oh, it's just a poster. It's just a poster. Okay. I never heard of this game. Dino Wars. Alright, here we go. Here we go. This is what we came here for. The Game Boy section. Golf. Boxel, which is Sakuban. Well, golf is just NES Golf. I mean, it's not a port, but it's just like a... I wonder how much code... Because the Game Boy and NES, I do believe they have different processors or something, but they are able to share a significant amount of code between them. And I wonder how much of the code from NES Golf made it into the Game Boy Golf. Okay. Golf, Boxel, Quirk, Solar Striker, etc. So Golf. Huh. Alright. Yeah, I'm not into golf in real life. I played mini golf with my mom ages ago. So Boxel. How sad is it that I'm genuinely more interested in freaking Sakuban than Boxel than golf. This is probably ultimately a more entertaining game, but I'm just not interested in golf in real life. I played mini golf with friends, but now Quirk. A hip tomato with shades and a sense for adventure. It was the 90s. We just have to talk. It was the 90s. A hip tomato with shades and a sense for adventure must work out many mysteries. Okay. You know what? We need to play Adventures of Lolo. We need to play Adventures of Lolo. Is that on my list? I believe it is. Adventures. Yeah, and I need to... I think, I have plans to cover a greater variety of games and not necessarily have to dedicate to making each game a big project and history lesson unto itself. Yeah, a cool dude in a loose mood. So here we go. This is what we came... Solar Striker. Travel to a strange world and take on an army of invaders. And this first space adventure for Game Boy. Oh yeah, I didn't really consider that angle. This would have been the first space game for Game Boy. Or outer space themed game. You'll pilot the amazing Solar Striker through 6 alien-infested stages to the heart of the planet. Alright, okay. I know it's just a video game, but can you really call this planet alien-infested when this is their home world? I mean, it's just where they live. It's like calling an anthill ant-infested. Now, Kalakaboy in chat is saying they know if the release dates for movies in Marvel in their world matches up with ours. The anticipated sequel to Beetlejuice titled Beetlejuice comes out this October. Your world's getting a sequel to Beetlejuice? What? You live on the best timeline. I wouldn't have known about this. I guess they can't title. I mean, what else would you possibly call? Okay. Yeah. I was going to make. Okay. Yeah. Is Michael Keaton gonna be in it? I'd love to know who's gonna be in this movie. Is Danny Elfman still alive in your world? I don't even know if he's still alive in my world. Okay, tell me more as I continue reading the coverage of Solar Striker. Travel to a strange world and take on an enemy of invaders in this first space adventure for Game Boy. You'll apply the amazing Solar Striker through 6 alien-infested worlds, and then I went on a little rant, but yes, and Winona Ryder too. Yeah, I don't want to speculate as to what certain people may have been up to or occupied with, but based on the history of my world, there's a key actor in the original movie that I can guess is busy with other issues right now. Collect P symbols for extra firepower. Power up again for triple shots. Stay in the middle. Avoid the shower of shots. Finds the atmosphere of the planet. Buzz down onto the surface. More challenges await. And worlds stages 4, 5, and 6. Fly around the enemy when it dives. Plus Catherine O'Hara as well, and Danny Elfman is scoring the film. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that Danny Elfman is still around. Like, his music, like, I mean, heck, we were just looking at the Batman Nintendo, 8-bit Nintendo game based on the movie that Danny Elfman scored. Danny Elfman does really, like, he can do epic stuff like the Batman score, but then he, like, I'd guess like Pee-wee's Big Adventure and Beetlejuice, I guess. Or he can do this really cute, sort of dark, but gently mischievous kind of thing with his music. Like, I knew a kid when Beetlejuice came out, and he had he was older than me. Like the school I went to was like, I guess, like kindergarten through like the equivalent of like 7th grade age on Beach 50th Street, and he had a black and white doorworm. So that Halloween, he went as Beetlejuice, and it was like, because you have a black and white doorworm and the sandworms in Beetlejuice and that desert hell thing, it went over pretty well. It was pretty dope. I mean, at first people were making fun of him for it, but then he just like sort of owned it and sort of turned it on his head, and it turned it into something cool. And Cloudboy is saying, there are Lunarian movies with an all-Lunarian cast in my world. Oh yeah, like there's movies, like I can't talk too much about specific titles, and I guess, I don't know even if once I get information exchange licenses, I will be able to play any games with Lunarians in them. So, like, judging by context, I'm guessing your world, as far as people goes, just has humans living on it, which is pretty typical for Earth. Like, I know my world and the ones that are sort of in its little neck of the intermembrane woods are kind of extraordinary in that regard, to have multiple species of people living on them. But, that definitely does exist. Once the advanced controller gets around to calling me back, I'll see what I can do about getting more information exchange licenses. But I've taken a peek at Human H's videotape collection, and a lot of the same shows that I grew up with, he has on tape, which is absolutely incredible. Oh, only humans here of many different races? Okay, sounds like my world. Bugs Bunny. Roger Who, the rabbit that knows where it's at, is Bugs Bunny, and he's making his way to Game Boy. Kemco Selka is working on this adaptation of their NES hit. Alright. Oh, we got, more Super Mario Brothers 3 coverage. Hold on, I'm gonna put, this is an issue of Nintendo Power I'm definitely going to take a note of, as one to go back to when the time comes for us to play Super Mario Brothers 3. Brui Fighter? What is this? Brui Fighter. Brual? What is... look at the text placement here. This is barely readable. Help... What... I don't even know what the... Okay. Can you get more early 90s coloring than this? A marble, hot pink marble on black. Astinax. Astinax. Ask your doctor if Astinax is right for you. Oh gosh. So okay, so here's the oh, the cockpit is in the head. Okay, so I thought that was just a robot dragon. No, this is a giant robot dragon. And Clackboy in chat is asking, do UFOs come to my world? Some humans here claim to have seen what's called a gray alien. I'm going to wait till I get some information exchange licenses secured before I discuss that, but it will definitely be on the subject of topics that would... Yeah, I don't want to get myself in trouble by answering that. It's a very, very good question. So you pilot a giant... So this is like something on the scale of a Gundam almost. I mean, honestly, if I had a giant creature-themed robot, I would want the cockpit to be in the chest. I want to... The head looks too exposed. Just have cameras and sensors and stuff in the head. Have backup cameras throughout the body. So this is, what, Dragon Warrior, as it would have been called at the time. So who framed Roger Rabbit? Yeah, how do you make a... I heard this game was a real Tookus party. Oh, Monster Party. Alright. Faxanadu, Adventures of Lolo. Yeah, this is a game... This is a HAL game, Adventures of Lolo. It's based on something called Eggerland Adventures, which was a game that moved in a lot of... that was more of a established series in Japan, but really just kind of released as sort of a deluxe collection edition of, like, I think the first couple of games, something like that, as Adventures of Lolo. And then Lolo became like a boss character in the first Kirby game on Game Boy. So here we've got Ultima, Monster Party on NES. Now, I haven't played Monster Party. It's a game... Maybe that could be a game I play for Halloween season some year or another. But yeah, Monster Party, I heard it was kind of a parody horror game. And it was developed in Japan, but they only released it in North America. But they were afraid that the parodies and references were too close to being able to be within the grounds for a potential lawsuit, so they kind of like rescinded a lot of the references. So like the Little Shop of Horrors reference and the like would kind of so Kid Icarus, that's a game we'll be playing someday. Guardian Legend, that's a game I believe is a mix of a shooter with some other elements. So Bad Dudes, Kung Fu Heroes. I heard this game was not that great, really. So, tips for Super Mario Land. Let's see what tips they have for Super Mario Land. Mario's fortune will be multiplied many times over if you follow a simple maneuver involving coin collection in World 2-3, where Mario takes the marine pop out for undersea adventure. You'll find his name is spelled out in coins, collect as many as you can, and break out the bricks of the next wall to uncover a 1-up. Before Mario hits the next wall, run into an enemy. Mario will start over just before the coin letters, and the total number of lives will not be affected because you collected the 1-up part. Repeat this procedure, and continue to collect as many coins as you can. For every 100 coins you collect, you will receive... Okay. Yeah, that's a strategy I never considered. That's very interesting. Very interesting. Now, I don't need to stock up on lives to beat Super Mario Land, but back in like 95 when I first played Super Mario Land, this definitely would have helped me a lot. That tip. Actually, no, it wouldn't have, because only once or twice did I even get up to that stage to begin with. So new games now available. Infiltrator, The Chess Master, Short Order Explode. Oh yeah, the Short Order Explode. That game is... Yeah, chess. That's something I wish I had the brain. I want to learn about board games in your world. That will be fun. That's something after Pokemon. I promise Pokemon. I'll get into those woods after Pokemon, let's say. And even when I'm doing a larger project, that is something I can theoretically do in the midweek order sheet. Yeah, so these two games, these two shipped on a single cartridge and use the power pad. Yeah. Not a game I really ever really thought much about, but so video shorts. Road Blasters, Genghis Khan, Cybernoid, Dig Dug. Dig Dug 2. I never thought of there being a sequel to Dig Dug, but here it is. NES Journal. So what is... Let's see what this is. The dream of many Nintendo players, a tour of Nintendo headquarters, was recently realized by the 5 winners of Nintendo Power's July-August Players Poll Contest. The lucky winners came from all over the US and received the red carpet treatment at Nintendo right after arriving at SeaTac Airport, where they were whisked away to Nintendo headquarters for a whirlwind tour. Many things they saw amazed them, especially the scale of the operations. It was a lot bigger than we expected, was one comment. After a night's rest, the group was taken on a guided tour of Seattle, catching sights such as the Pacific Science Center, the Space Needle, the monorail. Seattle has a monorail in your world? I mean, this was like closing in on 40 years ago, so maybe it doesn't exist anymore? Yeah, there's a monorail, or there was a high-altitude monorail in Manhattan. There is, I guess, what could be considered a monorail in the L-Town in Arvern. And I guess what would be considered a more typical monorail in Upper Manhattan, which it's kind of funny. There's like the old high-altitude monorail, but that's before they built the L-Town over in Upper Manhattan. But let's see. Oh yeah, so. Dazzling the game winners with trivia and inside information. After breakfast, the winners got to play and evaluate some hot future games. Oh wow, they got to play Super Mario Bros. 3. Lucky them. That would have been quite the boast at the time. And Super Spike V-Ball, Murder City Ransom, and was back to Nintendo quarters with a session with the gameplay counselors, playing games and listening in on calls. It was a great opportunity to get those tough gameplay questions answered with the pros in person. When it came time to say goodbye, the winners were quite satisfied with the experience, full of good memories and lots of stories to tell their friends back at home. Wowee. Wowee. That's amazing. Now let's check this out. To put the short takes. To put the value of the cleaning kit in perspective, we spoke with the technicians at Nintendo headquarters. They told us most of the units in for repair don't have anything technically wrong with them. These systems only need cleaning and could have been fixed quickly and safely by the consumer at home using the cleaning kit, saving the owners time and money. The NES cleaning kit is available at World of Nintendo outlets or directly from Nintendo for $9.95. Keeping NES clean is the best way to ensure it stays in working order. In your future, local NES repair service. Currently, if you have a problem with your NES, even after using the NES cleaning kit on it, the only way to get it repaired is to send it to Nintendo headquarters in Redmond, Washington. Although there are authorized repair centers in Los Angeles and San Francisco, Nintendo is planning on making authorized local repair centers available in most areas. We'll let you know the details as soon as they're finalized. For more information, call 1-800-255-3700. Wow, the same number in your world. Now, I had, I guess the Redemption Center 5 equivalent of the NES, the Nintendo AVS. I got it off of I got mine from a flea market in Surf Avenue on Coney Island in like 65.99-ish, and I ended up taking it to a service center in Cross Bay Town on Rulers Bay, Hasek, over on the north of the peninsula where I live, so it'd be just like it's only a couple of train station stops away. You take the H train. You take the trolley out of L-Town over to 57th Street, change over to the H train, and take it right off onto the island, and you're there. But if you've... Oh, wow. Now, this... It's so weird seeing 1990 instead of 6590, but the Nintendo World Championships, we reported on last issue, have been generating quite a bit of excitement, and many fans have been clamoring for more info. Now that some of the details in the NWC are more solid, we can pass them on to you. The most impressive aspect of the NWC will be the sheer scale of the activities. Everything will be laid out in a high-tech style. The event will surround showgoers with exhibits and banks of video monitors. Is there a Disneyland in your world? I live 20 minutes from it in your world. Okay, so you're out in the California Republic, right? There was I don't want to say too much. I can't talk too much about what is going on in the southern North America right now, on the eastern coast. But I don't think it would be too violation-y of potential information export laws to... So, did Disney open a theme park on the east coast of the United States that gradually became a semi-sovereign nation over the course of the decades to follow? Because that's something that happened in my world, and and actually Disney had to... okay, I can't talk too much, but basically Disney was put in a situation where they thought the Disneyland park in the California Republic was going to become so large that it would declare independence from the United States, and they had to sort of divest the ownership of it to the government. So, yeah, that was interesting. That's something that happened. So the point, I have never been that far west in North America. Reasons. But yeah, there are Disney theme parks. At least one of which on the west coast of North America is operated by Disney, but the land is owned by the government of California now. Oh, a Calaca boy is saying Epcot Center, that was the original intention, but he died, so... Oh. Okay. So the Epcot they built... Okay, so Epcot did not... Okay, yeah. I don't want to talk too much about Epcot in my world. I can say that they developed one of the larger L-towns out there over in the Epcot in my world. But I don't want to get myself into trouble and talk too much about that now. Yeah, I don't... Yeah, without Walter's, I guess, vision, I don't see how that plan could have possibly played out. I mean, you could arguably it didn't really play out well as it happened anyway, even with his vision, but that's a whole other story. I don't want to talk too much about that. Oh my god! Okay. So, Pittsburgh, PA, D. Lawrence Convention Center. Why does that ring a bell to me for some reason? I can't say why. I can't say why. But, I don't recognize some of these states, but I don't want to get into that. Wait. Dallas? Hold on. The NWC will be held in over 30 U.S., meaning I'm presuming United States, like United States of America cities, including the following: Fair Park Convention Center, Dallas, Texas. Texas joined the United States and stayed with them, huh? I mean, there's always a Texas one way or another, but the fact that they'd actually stay with the United States is kind of interesting. Celebrity profiles. But I'm getting too closely into information exchange license territory, and I'm going to have to develop a relationship. I'm going to have to figure out with the advanced controller how we could secure some of those. MTV's remote control combines television, music, and trivia in a wild mix that sure as to please the most power-playing TV nuts. The game really captures the show's wacky style with its silly questions and strange-looking contestants. Also has some of the tasteless humor, so if you can't take a joke, you might want to change the channel. Jeopardy rejects. Wow. Snake, Rattle, and Roll. That's a game I've never played. Adventures of Lolo 2. I've never played the first one. Wall Street Kid. Hey, we could invest in stonks on our 8-bit Nintendo. Alright. Okay, looks like we're closing in on... Oh, we have a letter from Howard Phillips. To our readers. Hello again. I hope everyone had a great holiday season. No sooner does this year start off than I'm off to the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas to preview all the new games and products everyone has in store. From what I have heard and seen so far, I can tell you that 1990 should be a great year for the NES. Another cause for excitement this year will be the Nintendo World Championships. This giant tour is going to hit some 30 US cities. I hope I'll be able to make a few of the dates to meet some of you in person. As most of you know, the Fun Club was replaced by Nintendo Power, which left me without a title. Instead of keeping track of the Fun Club, I've been making a lot more personal appearances to talk about games. I've even been evaluating more games than ever before. Because of these new duties, I was recently given the new title Game Master. Now, I'm familiar with Howard Phillips as the president of the Fun Club. I never knew of him as having the title Game Master. That's very interesting. We're closing in on the end of the magazine. Oh, that's the end of the magazine. Right as this song ends. So, hey, let's play some more Solar Striker for another half hour or so and call it a stream. So, for those who are not familiar, Solar Striker is the reason that this game, that my stream is called Nintendo's Only Shooter. This is a game I first played about an hour ago, and boy has it been a blast. I've been having lots of fun with this. Let me just get my spreadsheet out. There we go. So we got pretty far before. We'll play this for another half hour and call it a stream. Yeah, how about set that for 30 minutes and get started. Oh yeah, this is gonna be fun. Alright. And just adjusting my personal volume. There we go. There we go. I might as well reset. I should not have lost a life that fast. Alright. Oh yeah, this is fun. Now, I'm being reckless. I was being silly just waving back and forth. Okay. No, gotcha. Yeah, I keep trying to get points at ships that I'm... there's no reason for me to go after that other ship, but... I mean, points, but at what risk? Yeah, we're sticking with this. We're not resetting again. Alright, so... I wonder if I'll ever get to a point where I memorize the names, the ridiculous names of all these enemies. Alright. I just backed off. Double ships. That was a very foolish move I did, and I was lucky I did not lose one of my fighters doing that. Okay. Bam, 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 bam. Yeah, right down this... Yeah, just take out that row of bad guys. Yeah, it's funny. I've always considered myself fond of this type of game, and I never realized until Oh, you know what? Another game like this I forgot I played? Stinger and Twinbee. Because Stinger was ridiculously hard. I didn't even properly play it. I just saved scummed it for the heck of it just to see what the stages were like on the Wii U Virtual Console. And because Stinger's problem is that Stinger is a game that is balanced for 3 players, can only have on Famicom, which could have 3 controllers. Then on NES you can only have 2 controllers, and I was playing it for 1. So all the enemy patterns, the bullet patterns, those are balanced for 3 players simultaneous, and I am 1 person simultaneous. It's not the kind of game that even if I had a Doorworm, that a Doorworm would be good at playing. Why did I have to take that L right? Okay. Yeah, without even... Yeah, just ignore... Just avoid the bullets. Oh yeah, this is a very simple pattern to ignore. Very simple. Yeah, I don't even have to move that much. I'm not even worried about being lined up with them. It's just such a very risk-free pattern. Alright. You got these guys again, just for the start. And then we're gonna get the more, the unique enemies. Bam. Alright, start taking these dudes out. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep my eyes on the top of the screen. Just tear through these guys. Yeah, I can see how, compared to other games, like the options and Life Force, these are not very exciting power-ups. Oh my goodness, why did I do that? Okay. What is that noise? Alright. Oh, why? Okay. 48,900, huh? Alright. Yeah, I can imagine an... Oh, I'll have to wait until later on when I know I could talk about this stuff freely. But as far as the game goes, yeah, I did not consider... I forgot both Twinbee and, you know, the original game and the Famicom game, Stinger. I forgot those, because I didn't like... Twinbee didn't blow my mind. I'm so weird. Like, Twinbee is objectively has better graphics and sound, more going on, but I just find this so incredibly charming. Yeah, this is like the most like sensory deprivation I can get in terms of my simplistic games before things start getting really crazy in terms of like, why am I going to sit here and watch someone play Alleyway for 2 hours? I did I did at least a couple of like full-length 4-hour streams of Alleyway back when 2 hours was my standard stream and not just like, you know, maybe 2 or 3. And my weekday streams, I'm willing to make those weekday streams could be 90 minutes. I'm not afraid to do that. Yeah, a half hour of gameplay and an hour of whatever else? Yeah, sure. My Wednesday streams could be 90 minutes. Because I think, when I think of people that stream for like 5 hours like it's nothing, The physical endurance of it, and the fact that if you're a TV host that does a show 5 nights a week, you know, on like ESPN or something like that, if anyone has that channel. Okay, so you're in front of a camera. It's an hour-long block of programming. You've got multiple commercial breaks to get up and stretch and whatever. You've got a whole team of people looking after you, operating the equipment. Whereas when you're doing a stream on the internet, you're operating every aspect of you're operating the broadcast software, the cameras, you're monitoring the broadcast quality, you're interacting with chat, you know, you're doing moderation stuff if you don't have a team of mods. I don't have a team of mods, but I don't need a team of mods, so it would be nice to have a chat that was so active that I needed mods, but I enjoyed not having the hassle that comes with having a huge audience where you have to wrangle everyone in and make sure everyone's treating each other right. I'm treating the broadcaster right, but the only actual person I've ever had to ban on my stream, I didn't even have to ban them. They like tried to troll me, got upset when I didn't really respond to it, and what they were saying, they were trying to troll me in a way that I didn't even find that annoying. Got upset that I didn't get offended, and then asked me to, will you just ban me already? I'm like, okay, fine. Like, I had half of mine to be like, yeah, like, no, you're gonna have to actually explicitly break my rules if you want me to ban you, but no point in pushing. I mean, you just press the button and get rid of them, and just go on with the show. Alright, I got a 1-up, nice. Yeah, the flying saucers are classic, of course. I believe those were called cruisers in the manual. Alright, we're in the high-speed mode. Okay. When it goes to high-speed mode, this time they spawned on the left. I could have swore they appeared more on the right. We'll see. We'll see if that's consistent, and if it is, we can start to memorize patterns, dedicate them to memory. Alright. Now here comes the boss. Now this guy is tough because he actually, this guy you actually have to bother. Wow! I didn't think I'd beat him that fast. I mean, there were times when I felt like I was shooting at him forever, but those times I probably didn't have my big rockets that I've got with me, those big torpedoes. Okay, I thought the first... Either I'm getting lucky or I'm starting to actually memorize some of these patterns. I wonder what made them decide to have the playfield scroll left and right very slightly, because they could have very easily adapted this. Well, I say very easily. They could have if they were dedicated to do so. And darn it, I lost my lasers. I lost half my power-ups just there. I had the best power-ups you can get in the game. I am bungling this up big time. Okay. Ooh, why? Okay. 81,000... 81,100, okay. Oh yeah, this is a game I can come back to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... This is only my 9th attempt at the game, not counting those 2 resets. You know what? And I could go back and look at those 2 resets and see what the score I got was. Alright, there we go. Bam, bam, bam. Just take these guys out. And bam. Alright, very simple. I don't even think those guys fire back much. Okay. Blow, zip, bam, bam. Bam. Bam, bam. Well, I don't know why I'm providing manual sound effects given the game does it for me. double shots. Okay. Got the big bugs out the way. Yeah, those are the guys that try to ram you from the side. Yeah, I was, 5. So with the 2 games I remembered, those being Twin Bee and... Yeah, I've got to think. So the Game Gear, that one on Game Gear. Zero Wing. Twin Bee. And... I'm going to count right now. So, Solar... So, that... And the Game Gear game. No, I'm going to resist the urge to try to look it up right now. Actually... Yeah, I would go to my layout and actually search live, but I feel like... Yeah, the last time I did that, there was something wrong with the layout and the sound for my mic wasn't quite right, so I'm not going to risk that here. But we had the Game Gear game. Zero Wing, Ikaruga, Twin Bee, what was it? Twin Bee, I don't want to just call it Twin Bee. What was the name of it's Stinger. So that's 5. Dan Laser, that's one I forgot. Dan Laser for the Mega Duck that was then ported to Game Boy. Dan Laser. I guess Me Force for the Nintendo 3DS counts. Yeah, it's a unique game. It has like Street Pass functionality. So Me Force, then Ikaruga. Yeah, so that's a total of 8 games of this type, where you're in a scrolling environment with a ship facing waves of enemies. And I'm counting games that have scrolling. I'm not counting Space Invaders, Galaga, Galaxian. Those are all great games. I mean, Galaxian, you could argue, is a scrolling game because of the Starfield background, but because the ship is restricted to the lowest layer of the screen and you can't move around freely, I'm not counting that as you have to be traveling in your ship through a course that has obstacles other than just enemies. Like, think about Galaga, there are only enemies to fight. Here, actually, no, that can't be a defining factor, because here there are only enemies to fight. Whereas, heck, it's kind of funny, Dan Laser, for being the bootleg, game for the bootleg system, actually has environmental hazards, whereas this game really doesn't have any environmental hazards. Instead of interesting that Dan Laser for the Mega Duck in any way can outclass this, co-developed with Nintendo R&D 1. Really? Okay. You're gonna pay for that. That was some butt. Yeah. Nice. Okay. Alright. Take out these little spinny guys. Now, these aren't called spinnies, but there is something called a zoomer later on. Yeah, I feel like these ships are wandering in at random. Yeah, so if they meet in terms of the x-axis. Oh, doggone. Okay. Well, I have no more ships left. If they really frame... oh no! Why can I collect it? Okay. Oh. 44,900. Yeah. Just had to take a little stretch there, excuse me. Gotta Yeah. Alright, I'm ready. Throw me back in, coach. I'm ready. Okay, let's do this. There we go. Bam. There we go. Oh, oh. Yeah. Bam, bam. Bam. There we go. Oh, I came very close to phasing directly into his hitbox there, which would have been bad. Got the double shot. Nice. Yeah, so there was some coverage in that magazine of the Nintendo World Championships. There's a Switch game that's coming out in a few days, I believe, that's based around the Nintendo World Championships. And lots of cool, like, skill-based challenges. Something almost a bit in the... ooh. Okay, a bit in the ballpark of WarioWare in terms of, you know, these rapid-paced challenges, but it's a game I'd like to play, especially since I have the Switch Online NES controller, so I can play with a period authentic controller. The problem is I've yet to play a lot of the original games on stream, so I don't want to play a lot of the games without the actual context of, okay, here's what playing the original games were like, and now we're going to do these, skill-based challenges. Yeah, those bug guys, you definitely want to take them out before they reach the bottom of the screen. And it's not if they reach the bottom of the screen, it's if their Y-axis aligns with my own. That's what determines if they'll charge me horizontally or not. Ooh. 26500. That's one of my worst scores yet. Actually, no, it's not my lowest yet. It's not my lowest yet. Our highest is still 97,000. Yeah, very cool music. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Oh. Is that... yeah, I do like the thematic... You know, it's funny, as plain as this game is, there are not even any environmental hazards other than the actual waves of enemies. As plain and generic as this game is, it's kind of interesting, because they could have kept just 4 stages of this generic starry background and done just as well, conceptually. I think it's very interesting that they decided to go out of their way to have this sort of progressive theming to the stages. Like, this stage here is in the stars, then the next stage is in the clouds, then the next stage is right above the ground. So it's like you're gradually getting closer and closer to the center of the planet. Ooh. Okay. Okay. We're not doing that great. You know, I'm not taking it too seriously. I'm just sort of playing it easy. Or taking it easy as I play. Yeah, I gotta remember, keep the ship on the bottom of the screen. Yeah, taking these guys out, because when they get lower, they force me to go up, and that's when I start having to dodge more complex waves of enemies and bullets. Alright. Got him. Nice. Yeah, we may not have many lives left, but practice is practice. And this is a very easy pattern to avoid. I'm telling you, Tatanga, and yet this is still more difficult than Tatanga, the final boss of Super Mario Land on Game Boy. And if you're not familiar, why would I be comparing a boss in this and a... Oh, excuse the train. Why would I be playing a game comparing a boss in a scrolling space shooter to a boss in a Mario platformer? Well, there are two horizontal scrolling games. One where Mario operates a submarine, the other where he's piloting an airplane, and you have bullets and torpedoes, respectively, in those... actually, no, torpedoes and bullets, respectively, in those stages. And the bosses are, you know, shooter bosses, especially the ones at the end of the game, Tatanga and Biokinton. No, the bugs with the wings, those I feel are the ones that are the most dangerous and need to be taken out, like, above anyone else. Nice, okay. Yeah, I can't say if they actually deal more damage aside from the bosses, because aside from the bosses, all enemies take just a single hit anyway. But yeah, for as few of these games, I always consider myself having an affinity for these games, because just the idea of being a lone ship against a whole army of enemies and being the last hope, and oh, doggone, okay, it's very exciting. It's funny. I've always felt, and this is something I even felt. Even playing like that Game Gear game as a kid, or even playing Zero Wing, just that, and I would say especially though the Game Gear game, feeling this way as I played it, because it's before I was really conscious of the concept of role playing or identifying with the characters or the scenario of a game as I played it. It's just, yeah, this is going to take a lot more shooting since I don't have the more powerful bullets. There we go. On to World 3. Nice. Stage 3. Ready? Yeah, no go, just ready. Okay, that was a needless risk. Could have went very poorly for me. Yeah, just keep my eyes on the top of that screen for the most part, and I should be Oh! All right, 70,600. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have a feast after this. This was, as far as new game discovery, this was one of the nicest streams I've had in all year. As far as a discovery of an all-new game I've never played before. Oh, you know what? Ooh, I forgot a game. I forgot a shooter. Because it's a fantasy game and not a shooter game. Dragon Spirit for the NES. That's a game I forgot I played, so that takes me up to 10 of these games I played. Oh, you know what I forgot all about? I played Air Zonk as a kid. How could I forget Air Zonk? Me and my brother playing that. So many fond memories of playing Air Zonk for the TurboGrafx 16. Not a common system where I'm from, but it's a system that I had the chance to play. Did I just shoot that guy from the side somehow? Bam. Yeah, the bugs with the wing casings that do the sideways charge at you, those guys we gotta take care of as soon as possible. Not these guys. These guys are not ones I want to deal with, but those other ones are very dangerous. Because when they get onto your Y-axis, they just charge at you, whether you're at the bottom of the screen or halfway up it. Alright. Alright. I wonder if it's gonna... It's funny to think of this. I know that the whole idea is that this is Earth's last chance at survival before these guys annihilate us. But I know in Star Fox 64, the score is explained to be the bill that the Star Fox team charges the Cornerian army for helping them fight Andross. So I wonder if these are the your score here. Is that the money you're going to get from the Earth Federation for performing this this mission? Oh my gosh, I almost took a completely senseless death there. Yeah. This is such an... Oh, doggone. Okay. Let's do it. And this might be the last time... Okay. This might be our last... You know what? Let's make this our last run of the stream. Because we're only a few minutes to hitting 9 o'clock Atlantic time. And he's going to charge at me. That one on the left, I'm not going to try to go after him. I know he's going to charge me when he gets down there. And bam. Now, when the bullets get more powerful, is the beam just widening, or is it actually like it's not shooting through enemies? I could see that. I know. I feel like it definitely does more damage to the bosses, though. Oh, we got another life. Oh yeah, they seem like when we...
My name is Super Train Station H.
Why did my alarm go off? I didn't have it set for anything. Coincidentally, this is going to be our last a run of this for today. Alright, let's take out this guy. I know he eventually will. Nice, nice, nice. Alright, on to stage 4 or 3, I'm not sure. Stage 3, okay. Yeah, we never beat... Did we beat... I don't think we beat this stage yet. I mean, the fact that they're buildings that look like Earth office buildings, there are trees down there. These aren't just evil creatures. These are people. And these could be people that are living under a dictatorship where if anyone speaks out against their planned invasion of Earth, you know, their families will disappear or something awful like that. So the idea that we're out to destroy this entire planet and not just the government that's authorizing the invasion is a little concerning, but oh yeah, oh yeah, these tanks, these armored trucks, very easily taken out. Oh yeah, these torpedoes, night and day difference. And it's funny, no one bothers covering past stage 4. Is this... You know, and I always, like, kind of I've always been concerned about playing a certain game. Oh, is this game going to be too hard for me to play? And this game, I've had many, many resets at it, but I'm still having fun, and I feel like I'm putting on a good show. Oh yeah, these guys take a whole bunch of bullets. Alright. Stay on the bottom. Watch, dodge that last bullet from... Oh yeah, oh yeah, just keep this till the boss. Just keep this till the boss. And we'll tear through him like paper. No! Doggone! So close, so close, so close. Come on, just give me... Whisper of a Dream. Just one more power up before that boss. Whisper... Okay. Alright, this is as far as we've gotten. We still have another fighter left. Yeah, this is as far as we've gotten in the entire game. If we could get one more stage, if we could finish this stage, that would be a great milestone. And it would probably... Oh yeah, we are in... I'm just glanced at this high score. We are getting very... Ooh, close to high score territory. Yeah! We got it, we got it, we got it. We got it. I think we're in high score territory, and I don't think we've gotten this far before, so nice, nice. No matter how far we get... Oh yeah, this is definitely new. I think we're in a cave now. Or a canyon or something. We're... Ooh. Nice, you got new music too, which is great. Alright. Oh, I love this game so much. I sincerely love this game. Nice. Oh, did you see that smooth action there? This game, you guys can be such a pain in the butt. I am going to let the enemies come to me. I will... Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we've got the best... Oh, so these guys look like little jellyfish? Okay. I like this music so much. I'm so glad I got this game. I feel proud. Oh, doggone. Alright. I genuinely feel proud of, I guess, my... instincts as a retro gamer, as a gamer in general, that I saw this cartridge sitting in a bin, well, not a bin, but sitting in a display case with a bunch of other games, and something made me think, you know what? This is one... This is one to buy. Alright, that wasn't even... that. I didn't think that was a boss because the music didn't change. And think, yeah, this is definitely a game I want. This game is something special. I just love its proficiency, yet... It's proficient, yet it's completely lacking in ambition, and I enjoy that. Oh, we made it to the boss. Okay. Oh, this is the one that has the... Oh, wow, what a... Woo! Okay. Ooh. This game, I love it, but 13200. No, 132 triple O. Our high score for the day, our best score yet. That's gonna drag our average way up. And today, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We played this game, like, in terms of actually taking a solid swing, and not ones where I got taken out first thing and I just reset. A total of 13 times today. And boy, did I have a blast. So, next time, we are going to be playing a little Nintendo versus Pinball, back to sensory deprivation. And even with only 4 shades of gray, it seems like this is, that Solar Striker is like a audio-visual wonderland compared to versus Pinball. But we'll also be reviewing some vintage media of an unspecified nature. I may or may not be able to keep the VOD up when it's just some Nintendo versus Pinball gameplay. I could say, like, it's going to be nothing special in terms of gameplay. It's going to be more about the vintage media of an unspecified nature. So I'd like to thank all of you who showed up for today's stream. Whether you are active in chat or if you were standing guard in the Silent Squad, I'd like to thank you so much. I can't do it without you, and even as good a time as I have here, I often question, should I keep going? Should I invest in this? Like, is this worth it? And at the end of every stream, I always think, yes, it is worth it. Now, yeah, I'm going to send you all over. Yeah, thanks, Kalaka Boy. I'm going to send you all over to... Zeldar87. I have no idea what they're doing. But, to pull back the curtain a bit, they are... Hold on, let's see. They are... their model was created by the same artist, Rito Bandito, who did my model. So, just, you know, I want to see some other work done by this creator. Now this looks like it's going to be a shooter game, not the kind I play, the kind that where you run around shooting people. So if that's not up your alley, but do say hi to them. And I will see you all next time. And I'm going to make some soup and dump a whole can of soup. I'm going to dump a whole sleeve of Ritz into it. And I will then have a nice big bowl of popcorn. Where's the button to do the raid? Okay, there we go. See y'all.
Just reset the card, but